Hey, I'm Dave.
Hey, it's JP.
Hey, it's Henry.
And it's Kabal / Richard.
Nice of you to join us this week, guys.
Thank you.
So, we didn't get a very interesting week of picks. Obviously, with Smash launch, Sakurai's kind of just run out of things to talk about. So, we're not going to talk about these picks. But for the sake of the YouTube video, I'm just going to say, here's a pick, there's another pick. That one doesn't even really count as a pick. And yeah, we've got some more picks there.
One of these. Alf is interesting, I guess.
Yeah, Alf is interesting. We'll talk a bit about him later anyway. So guys, I guess we'll get into like impressions of Smash because we've all played it now in some shape or form. JP, you were at Oz Comic Con in Sydney.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the E3 demo?
I really loved it. I was hoping to play the Wii U version some more, but they only had one setup and it was on a projector screen. And
That's pretty disappointing.
They were trying to get a lot of new people to play it, so it wasn't like you could always line up and get back into some more. So I was pretty disappointed on Saturday, but I got to try out every newcomer on the Wii U eventually. And Sunday it was more casual. But I did have fun on the Wii U. I played a lot on the 3DS demos.
Okay, so just quickly, favorite newcomer and least favorite.
Well, to be honest, my favorite newcomer actually came at a tie. A three-way tie, actually. It's kind of sad, actually. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Villager, Mega Man, and Little Mac.
They seem to be the popular ones.
Yeah.
I really loved Villager because he was kind of comical and all of that. He was very fun to use. Mega Man because that's my main hype factor. And Little Mac, his ground game is so amazing. Anyway, I did a whole editorial on the whole Smash Brothers thread, so...
Yeah. All right. Who was your least favorite?
Wii Fit Trainer, probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't like her at all?
It's because you have a gut, isn't it?
Now, I wanted to like her, but I just found it so weird how she did all her fitness moves and everything, and it was kind of hard to get the hang of her.
Do you think having more time with it would have changed that? Because I've found...
Definitely.
Yeah, the characters that I initially found confusing after having played a solid 10 hours of the demo, I like to play as them quite a bit more.
Yeah, I got that too. I've been playing Villager and Mega Man a lot on the 3DS demo lately. And yeah, I can't wait to use them more and more.
Richard, you also played Smash was it at Comic-Con a while back?
Yes, down at Comic-Con in Melbourne. So when you had Peter talk about his impressions a few weeks ago, or Leon, if you know him that way. So I was actually there on the same day as him, and we played quite a lot. Because not a whole lot of queues, which was fantastic. So, I guess to break it down, you got the 3DS version and your Wii U version. The 3DS version, which I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on this. I had a few people complain about the shoulder buttons for shield and grab.
Yep.
Whereas I actually found it pretty easy. I mean, the ones on display I think were the 3DS XL ones, where I actually owned the vanilla first launch version of the 3DS. So I actually found it very intuitive. I was surprised. I was expecting a much more cumbersome sort of control scheme, because coming on the back of, say, something like Kid Icarus Uprising, I wasn't a huge fan of the control scheme or the way it sort of handled, given the way the action unfolded on screen. So I was a little bit apprehensive, given it was the same sort of developer, how he managed to map the controls to Smash Brothers. But I thought it was totally fine. In fact, in some ways, I found it more approachable than the Wii U version. Just little things as well with with the game modes, and you could play the single player mode. I forget what the name is. So I feel like that's a perfect complement to portable play. Being on the train, a few minutes here, a few minutes there. It's a really good complement. So that was pretty much my biggest takeaway, that I thought they really got the scale and the control scheme right for Smash Brothers. But jury's out as to whether my old ugly 3DS will take it. So yeah, but on the Wii U side, pretty much Bowser's the answer. Doesn't matter what the question is. Bowser was, to me, far and away the takeaway for it.
Everyone's saying he's crazy good.
Yeah, definitely Bowser. He's improved a lot.
Yeah, because it seemed like 5 in every 4 people were choosing Little Mac. I was instantly, I wanted to, like, as soon as I saw the trailer for Little Mac, I'm like, I have to be him. And then when I look on the screen, every single person and their dog was choosing Little Mac, and I just said, nah, look, I actually got motivated to be Bowser to obliterate all the Little Macs. At the time, I had about a streak of 3 or 4 games where at least 2 other opponents were Little Macs, and I would target them specifically. And believe it or not, I won every game. So suck on that shit.
Well, like, I don't know if you guys will follow like fighting game websites where they get ultra obsessive about tiers. Like, so the game's out for 2 days in Japan, and lots of people are saying that Bowser is one of the absolute top there. I don't know how long that'll stay, because I think it's 2 days, not much.
Somehow they've made him both heavier but quicker. I don't know how they've done it. Some Sakurai witch magic right there, but he's a bulkier character, and I think it might be to do with the super armor. The super armor is just like Little Mac would try to come in and jab me, for instance, and I would try like the down A aerial, or even like the smash down A, or actually I think it might have been Silent B, and for some reason, even though Little Mac got in first, I could just overpower him. So that was really interesting.
Yeah, it seems like an interesting thing that they haven't had much of, that sort of armor properties, like the focus attack in Street Fighter or something.
Like he actually controls like a boss character. You know how boss characters have super armor, they don't flinch. Like, finally, Bowser reflects that, because I've loved Bowser since Melee, but it's almost out of sympathy. Like, you have, I don't know, like you've got a dog in the house you don't like anymore, but you sort of have to feed it because you feel sorry for it. It's, I don't know.
Okay.
Ouch.
Yeah. Peter's on my ass now. So, yeah, no, but... Yeah, no, I felt like Bowser, I'd always play him out of sympathy just because, like, it's the allure of playing the bad guy. As shit as it plays, it's still cool.
I don't know if anyone's played against, like, Josh, like Mercury, and he is Ganondorf, because Ganondorf is not considered a great character in Brawl, but he is incredibly annoying to play, partially just because he's amazing at the down A in the air, and he'll just foot stomp you all day.
Absolutely, yeah. He's incredibly annoying to me because he plays a better Ganondorf than me, so there's that. And when I do choose Ganondorf, he'll choose like Lucas and then own me all over.
I don't know if you knew the online scene at Aussie Nintendo, but there was this guy named Wave Guider, and he had a pretty cool Ganondorf too.
He was very good from what I understood.
And speaking of bulky characters, oh no, the name's left. It might have been John, Jon, who chose Donkey Kong in Brawl, but he had some serious leverage with his moveset. Like, he was...
Yeah, I remember Donkey Kong, yeah.
Yeah, all the perks of a big, bulky character were on display, but somehow, I think with Brawl and Melee, you almost have to compensate and look for any single attack that matches the speed of the quicker or medium characters. Whereas here, you can pretty much do your own thing. Well, this is my first impression. You can pretty much do your own thing with a heavy character. You know, be a little bit slower to the contest, that's okay. Because you might have super armor, or you might have, I don't know, a higher priority. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. But, you know, like, you can still somehow dominate despite not being the quickest character. And you can play that way as a big character, which is really interesting. So that's something for the high tiers, the tier lists to consider.
Yeah. Big characters are going to be very popular this time round.
Yeah, no, definitely. And with the newcomers, I found, surprisingly so, Mega Man was really hard for me to use. I don't know why I expected someone who was a bit more, I don't know, dare I say, reflective of the 8-bit Mega Mans, where you sort of point and shoot and there you go. But because they sort of smashified his whole moveset, I found that to be a bit of a learning curve. So, which is really good, because, you know, you should pick characters that lend itself to more unconventional movesets. Yeah. So then I sort of picked characters that other people weren't using.
Like, what I've actually found about Mega Man Like, because I've really, really enjoyed. He's like between the two new characters in the demo, Mega Man's definitely my favorite there. What I find interesting is that he actually plays a lot like Mega Man from the NES games. Like he actually he controls and feels a bit like it, just like obviously in Smash and with different stuff. But there's just something that makes it feel like you are playing that kind of game.
Yeah, I don't remember. If you rapidly tap mash A, does he actually does he mash out pallets at the same rate as your?
No, it's not A. It's reversed.
What's B?
A is jump. B is shoot.
In Mega Man games, yeah, but it's effectively that speed. You'll have some people who will get some really weird like turbo button things, but I've always found it to be that kind of speed. And you can only ever have I think it's 3 on the screen. So like the walking and shooting and jumping and shooting feels really similar, and then his other weapons feel like these crazy little extra things that you can use for like bizarre scenarios because they're all really unique moves. Like his uniqueness travels for like his A moves and his like tilt moves and stuff all feel really cool.
His tilts are his best advantage, I found.
I'm not sure if the trailers just gave a different impression. That's interesting that you do actually think he emulates the NES play style. I'd have to play the demo for myself. I've yet to. I've been begging people for codes, but I then realised I region locked my 3DS to the UK so I can get 3DS eShop stuff earlier. So I've sort of boned myself now. But oh well.
So codes aren't worldwide.
No, they're not. So even if you give me an Australian code, it won't work because my Me or whatever it is tied to UK. Because as soon as you open up your 3DS, what region do you belong to? I chose UK because UK gets all the games. Australia gets nothing. Yeah,
true.
Yeah, so it's interesting you brought up Wii Fit Trainer JP because I reckon even though the B moves I couldn't quite get. There's a learning curve. I found the A moves, pretty much all of them, the aerials, the side A's, the smash A's, to be a lot more accessible and pretty interesting with the way that just the ridiculous amount of range that they have.
Yeah.
So I don't think I ever won with Wii Fit Trainer, but every time I play with him or her, I'm always thinking, you know what, I want to learn more about this character. He seems really cool.
Yeah, definitely. I actually want to main Wii Fit Trainer just to tick all the people off who say that she's not worthy to be in Smash. What was Sakurai thinking? Just imagine beating one of those people with Wii Fit Trainer.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have a least favorite, I guess, because I think even after one day of playing, you just simply can't get a decent gauge of where everyone's at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is your favorite though, Richard?
Bowser. Far and away Bowser.
What about like out of the newcomers though?
Probably Wii Fit Trainer only because he's quirky without being too weird for me. So every other character played differently to how I thought, and because everyone was choosing Little Mac, it seemed totally unoriginal and conformist for me to be Little Mac because I'm a hipster like that.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, it seemed like everyone was just going for the fan favorites, as you said. Everyone was choosing Villager, Mega Man. Yeah.
Actually, now that I think of it, Villager was probably my favorite on the weekend.
Okay. Why do you say Villager?
He's just comical, fun. His recovery is amazing.
It is. Like his recovery is more difficult in this game, and he's one of the only ones who can the only one of the 5 in the demo that can properly go from the bottom of the screen to the top. Like when it comes to recovering.
Yeah, and you can go from a side B to a up B.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool too.
And that side B is a great projectile as well.
Villager seems really good for free-for-alls. Like, obviously the heavier characters like Bowser, I mean, he's really good for free-for-alls now. But Villager, just with his moveset, just seems really good for free-for-alls.
I really love his tree move too.
The tree's really interesting. No, I because every part of the move does something else as well.
Yeah.
So like the water can actually move you away, and the axe can hit people, and it does so much damage, and it has so many like active frames. So like if you use it, it'll last deceptively long. So people like dodging into it can still get hit by the latter end of it a lot of the time.
So what happens if you get hit by the axe?
Oh yeah, it's just an attacking move. So like, one thing I found, for example, if someone's close to you and you use the axe as the final hit of the tree, I've hit someone with the axe, and then had a combo by knocking it into the tree,
Yeah.
and had that as a kill move. And the axe is,
Oh, wow.
all things considered, pretty quick. So I think, that being set up there is really good.
Wow. Okay. Are we talking as powerful as like a Ganon punch?
Probably not that much, but it's also quicker. It's and I think easier to land than a Ganon punch. Even just the tree by itself, if it's up there, I found it easier to land than at least Brawl's Ganon punch.
Yeah, because the assholes I play with never let me grow my bloody tree, so I had no idea what was going to happen if I kept growing the tree.
Yeah.
If you get a second, it grows really quickly. Like you can do.
Oh yeah,
From like just the first seed to having it hacked up, like chopped once in about 5 seconds or something. So if you just knock them off once, by the time they get back to the stage, you'll have the tree ready.
Okay.
Did you guys see the smashed potato video where they played around with the villagers? They kept growing the trees and then like pocketing them, and then they'd throw them back. And
Oh, you can pocket the tree as it falls.
yeah, you can pocket it.
Oh, you'd be amazed at the things you can pocket, actually.
You can pocket like Final Smashes too.
Yeah.
Well, did you see the Link one? Is that the one you're talking
Yeah.
about?
Yeah.
I think that's invincibility frames, because to work against projectile stuff, it has like a very slight bit of invincibility, and Link's
He does, because he flashes white just like
Yeah.
very briefly, but it's there. Yeah.
And with most moves that wouldn't work, because the move will be active long enough to just hit through the whole invincibility. But it seemed to beat Link's, which is really cool, actually.
Actually, speaking of Final Smashes, Mega Man is really cool.
Oh god,
when
yeah,
it's in action.
it is so cool.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we're waiting for Dave.
I was going to ask Henry actually.
Yeah.
Did you get to play at Comic-Con or anything like that?
No, I didn't get to go to Comic-Con, but
Okay,
as soon as I got the demo code, I got it emailed. I was supposed to do other stuff that day, and then I didn't. I haven't really stopped playing since. So like I've been at uni today. I've been wanting to do work in between classes, and then I didn't. So I've been playing a lot, and I've really enjoyed everyone except maybe Pikachu, just because he feels like maybe I'll have more time, and maybe I'll have things like combos. Like Mario has some surprising amount of combo ability, and maybe I'll find that with Pikachu. But he just seems to lack oomph. Like his forward A and his Thunder as well just don't knock as far as they used to.
The Thunder feels like it's been nerfed.
More of a fizzle than a Thunder, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. A couple of his moves seem like okay, but yeah.
I like his back air. His back air's good.
Yeah, his back air, yeah. But yeah, Pikachu's probably like the least changed out of Mario, Link, and Pikachu. Yeah.
Link's the most improved, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I hated playing as Link before, because I played Toon Link, and it was like playing a clunky version of my character. And now he feels still distinct, but he still feels like he's got a lot of good stuff going for him, and he has an amazing dash as well.
I love that dash attack.
I love that. Yeah, I love it too. Yeah. It's made me a fan of Link again.
Well, the dash loves you too, JP.
Probably the one thing which I'm a bit disappointed with Link, and was like a technique that I would use. It should be the same. Like I'm assuming it's gone for Toon Link as well. But I used to be able to drop my bomb and air dodge at the same time. Like you'd like press L just after you, like I press A just after you press L, and it was really good because like you were essentially attacking and dodging at the same time. So if anyone was near you, it worked really well. And you can't really do that anymore. I've only had it just come out as a grab and dodge, dropping the bomb. So that's a bit of a shame.
Really?
So is this with Toon Link?
Yeah, in Brawl with Toon Link, you could do an air dodge and drop an item at the same time. Like that was a universal thing, and that seems to be gone.
Yeah, actually, I that was one thing I did notice, especially when you control the big characters, because I think Bowser was one of the first characters that happened to pick as well. Was because it is a faster game than Brawl, this current one. It just felt heavenly, really. It felt fantastic. It is definitely more like Brawl than Melee. It sounded like it sounded like the ground game was Melee based, but the air game was more Brawl based.
I feel like it's just like a more refined version of Brawl. They don't have the stupid mechanics like the tripping, and and falling from the air is a lot faster as well. It makes still like it reduces. Like I think that's why Brawl was slower more than anything else. Of course, there were a bunch of other things, but the fact that you were always just floating as you fell in this game, you can really fall down quite quickly if you choose to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it felt less magnetic than Brawl, which was good. So you know how you could just easily cling onto the edges. It seemed, I'm not sure, from memory, it seemed a little harder to actually grab the cliff edge.
Yeah, and also the new mechanics to stop edge hogging as well. The like you shoot someone off the edge if you grab onto it instead.
Yeah, I saw that demonstration by Sakurai. Yeah, that was really cool.
And I've been using that like when playing, and it works perfectly. Like it doesn't seem to give anyone some ridiculous advantage in that circumstance. So yeah, and I prefer that. I never thought that edge hogging stuff were mechanics that I quite liked, to be honest. So yeah, I'm happy they're gone, to be honest. And I think they're still there to some extent, but I'm happy there are options around it for the most part.
Definitely. So what about you, Dave? What was your favourite character? What's your least favourite character?
Well, I've only got to play the demo like Henry. Like you, Richard, I didn't actually like Mega Man at first. I did find him a bit impossible to use, but then just spending a lot of time with him, I find him pretty comfortable now. I do like Villager more. Obviously, those are the only two newcomers I can play. So, Villager is my favourite newcomer at this stage. He's just, so fun to play, really. Yeah. I really enjoyed playing Link in the demo, though, the most, probably.
Okay.
Just because of how improved he is. But, yeah.
Yeah, I've always had more of an affinity for the melee Link. I don't know why. It's like Brawl Link left such a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
When I saw Link in this current one, I'm like, yeah.
The game does feel very solid though. Like the only
what
thing.
do people think of? No, you go, Dave.
Oh, sorry. The only thing I was going to mention is Cage picked up on it, and like I didn't notice it at first, but as soon as he said it, I did kind of notice it. Like the 30 frames per second assist trophies, they do kind of.
You do notice it.
You do notice it, but that was the only thing.
Especially when they're running side by side with the characters. Like
Yeah.
And they look similar. I've noticed it probably most with the Girahim one. I thought it kind of stood out there more than anything else.
Doesn't he teleport a lot and just do a lot of fast slashes?
Yeah. And he's moving. I find he's moving a lot of the time, and that makes it obvious. I think maybe Dark Samus is similar as well in that regard. You have like a similar sized character moving around a lot, and you notice it a bit more.
So is this demo 30 times and that's it? You can't use it anymore? Or is it unlimited?
It's unlimited, I think, if you get the code. I think when they release it for everyone, it's going to be a limited time thing. That's my understanding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, obviously it's unlimited because it hasn't stopped me yet.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have opened it 30 times yet, surely.
I think I've been playing it a lot.
Yeah. But like, it's on every time you open it usually.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't. So you could just have one continuous play session basically.
Oh, okay.
The Smash demo is already my highest average playtime. I just checked my activity log before. Which isn't surprising, really.
I mean, especially from how averages work, because you haven't played it that many times.
Well, that's going to be interesting. It's going to take a while to beat my Fire Emblem playtime, which is like over 200 hours.
Have you beaten it yet?
Yes, I have.
So was there anything else we wanted to talk about before we get into have we all seen footage of like the full version of Smash or not?
Yeah, well, I've seen bits and pieces of the stream.
Yeah, I haven't tried to watch it intently because I do want to see some of the stuff for myself, but I haven't been able to stop myself from going onto Twitch.
The only thing I've noticed, when I say I've noticed, what I've read about is the differences between Mega Man in the demo versus the full version.
Oh, I didn't know there were some.
So when Mega Man was first unveiled, his leaf shield was like instantly, it was instant. So
okay. So this is differences that should be.
Differences that the B moves, the B moveset of Mega Man has been totally nerfed between builds. So
is that between the E3 demo and now?
Yes.
Yeah.
So like the leaf shield was instantaneous. The blade, there's something about the blade, whether it's bigger or does more damage and more knockback. back in the
The
E3
blade's
demo.
pretty weak at the moment. I think it's good to throw around, like it's a good annoying thing, but it doesn't do much beside annoying. And it's good that it goes through certain things. I think it's through characters, not through other projectiles. But yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that property was already in the E3 demo too. It's just, it actually just did far more damage. It was just a more useful item. So that's sort of interesting, because I was trying to play around with Mega Man with the B moves, and because I only played 1 or 2 matches with him, I just could not get my head around it. And every time I did do something, it seemed like it did about 5-10% damage. And I'm like, well, what's the point of this?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was interesting to note. So it seems like even between builds that are 6 months old, there's still these swathing changes.
Yeah. Did anybody have anything to say about the items? Because like now that we've had a good chance to play like for a pretty large amount of time, like we've seen a lot of the Pokeballs and things like that. I don't know if anyone wanted to say anything about that.
I like the what's that new fire sword with the little that made up of like 6 fireballs. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's fun to use.
That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a good question. I haven't figured out how to escape from the beetle yet. I always die from them.
Oh, yeah.
Do you just mash buttons or something?
I assume so.
Yeah. Or is it the higher the percentage, the easier it is to kill you?
I think so, because I've been able to mash out when it hit me at like 0%.
Okay.
I was able to get out of it.
Yeah,
because similar with the drill. I don't know if people have had that kill them.
Yeah, the drill's pissing me off. I don't know whether I just suck at avoiding it or that, like, it just takes me off the screen every time.
Yeah. I think my favorite item is the bullet bill for sure, though. When you grab that and you turn into a bullet bill and go flying across the screen, it's awesome.
Yeah, that's a good one to keep in your pocket if you've got Villager, because you can just bring it out at the right time and instantly use it.
Yeah.
You must have pockets the size of those dudes in point-and-click adventure games where they just shove everything in there.
Yeah.
Wonder if that's a homage.
Yeah.
One thing that surprised me, and I'm not sure if this is in the final version, but Pokeballs can actually have legendary Pokemon as well as the Master Balls. I don't know if people noticed that. I assumed it was reserved.
I actually thought that was going to be the case. It would just be like rarer to get a legendary in it. But yeah, we didn't actually get that confirmed, I don't think.
And on that note, Arceus, or Arceus, however people want to pronounce it, is really annoying. I don't know if people have been killed by that, but it's like a meteor smash effect around the whole screen, I think. It goes really far. So if you happen to be off the screen, I don't even think it does any damage. It just knocks everyone who can get hit by it down. So if you're off the screen, it just kills you.
I've been on the receiving end of that, and it's not nice.
So, Kabal, you're wanting to say something about missing characters?
Yeah, I was wondering if, considering the roster's been revealed and you guys have been, maybe for you, JP, unfortunately spoiled of the entire roster.
Nah, I know the entire roster.
He caved.
I caved.
I think we all caved.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. I caved in the hope of one more newcomer.
Don't look at it as caving in. Look at it as just preparation, my friend.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I might as well get the ball rolling and see what your reactions are. Dr. Kawashima, I would have loved to have seen him as a playable character.
I don't know how that could have worked.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, B is barrel rolling head. Side B is pushing numbers from his nostrils.
I'm just going to note. If you're gonna
no, I want him to work.
I'm just going to note that if you're going to have faces from the Nintendo DS, I would have just loved to see Russell Grant just coming up.
The real mascot, yeah.
Yeah.
Is Kawashima in the game as an assist trophy, though, at least?
I know there's a stage or there's an item or something to do with Dr. Kawashima. No, sorry, there's a stage. Yeah, there's a stage based on around brain training.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and there's like numbers flying on the screen. You can actually like attack them and stuff. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, but I just think that, like, I don't know. I really like the idea of taking a character that doesn't have a necessary moveset like Captain Falcon, and then just inventing one for him. Like, that's really creative and imaginative to me. So to do that to an actual professor of mathematics, to me would have been really, really cool. You know, that sort of Japanese quirky crap that they're known for. So I think that was a bit of a missed opportunity.
Final Smash B.
Oh boy, you put him on the spot here, man.
That devil
Maybe-
Kashima.
Oh, the devil
Mate,
face, yeah.
I
The
reckon.
devil face.
Yeah, it has to involve devil face. Maybe like the percentage that you accumulate equates to like his IQ, and then like a bigger brain, depending on the IQ, just like smashes down, fills the entire screen, and just wipes away all the combatants. That'd be kind of cool. What does he even do when he gets all red faced? Does he
I
just?
don't know. I haven't played it.
Yeah,
played
I
this.
don't know
My
either.
brain is not trained.
Yeah.
Neither have I.
I haven't played it in a long time.
I think I was just humiliated by my brain age being about 85, and I said, "Nah, I'm back to playing Smash Brothers."
Yeah.
I had another one, and I've forgotten it. So just one that just come back to me now, which I didn't think originally was King K. Rool, just because I think he'd be a really cool character. It'd be nice to have 4 big fat characters on screen.
I'm kind of disappointed with the number of villains in this new Smash.
The lack of, yeah.
The lack of, yeah. King K. Rool would have been a great one to throw in there. Wolf's missing, which is...
we have fox colors, so wolf colors. Fox.
Yeah.
Not the
But
same.
that's not good enough. What
No,
about the
not.
taunts?
That's a cosplaying fox. It doesn't count.
Yeah. Oh, I loved Wolf too, so yeah, I'm missing him.
But who honestly would prefer Falco over Wolf? Seriously, that's what I want to know.
Yeah, I think both me and JP were saying we wanted Wolf instead, didn't we?
Yeah, I'd say wolf's the better option for that.
And Falco was more of a clone of Fox than Wolf was, I felt.
Yeah, but I probably think that the biggest veteran to go, which people are sad about, is Ice Climbers.
Definitely.
That's-
Yeah, I'm missing Ice Climbers already, and I haven't even got the game.
Yeah, I think everyone's missing Ice Climbers, and no one has ever used them in the past games. They're just
They-
think
they
that
were my
the
main.
grass is always green.
Oh,
Were Ice Climbers your main, Dave?
Yeah.
Okay, so
that
apart
must
from
suck.
Dave and
I
Trent,
mean, I got Toon Link. Who was my
actually,
Ice Climbers?
Richard, I also enjoyed Ice Climbers. They were number 5
Number 5.
on my mains. Well, I had to have Marth and Ike. Had to have Sonic.
you had to have all these other characters, didn't you, in front of Ice Climbers?
Yeah. Yeah.
See, man, you could have been on this Ice Climber bandwagon. You could have put that as your number 1 main and really rode this train home and convince
Yeah.
Sakurai personally to include him.
I'm hoping there's still a chance of DLC.
Well, the thing is,
Oh,
they have
yeah.
actually put in a mechanic to get rid of chain grabbing as a general thing. Like there's a 1 second lag between grabbing and grabbing again. So it seems like that was almost built for the Ice Climbers, who haven't been able to avoid the mechanic.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're just like a unique character to use.
Yeah.
Just the way that, like you said, like they can't escape throws. Sorry, they can escape throws easier. Just the way they work in tandem. That would have been really cool. In fact, I mean, how cool would it have been if, it would have been great if there would have been like an Ice Climber mini game, or like mini mode, I guess, in Smash Brothers, where you link up 3DSs. One chooses one climber, the other one chooses the other, and you go through Smash Run that way. That
Would be cool.
Yeah. If he couldn't do 2 Ice Climbers, he could have at least done 1 and gone Ice Climber.
Yeah.
I think people would have complained more if there was just the one Ice Climber.
A bit like Ridley without a tail and head.
like I would take 1 Ice Climber now, but yeah, I would have preferred 2. What one would seem reasonable now, only because you could have Popo as your main one, Nana as an alt, because we've seen Alf is an alt for Olimar.
Yeah.
So like it works, and it actually comes up with Alf. It doesn't just it comes up with their name.
Well, I remember Sakurai was talking at an interview fitting 8 Ice Climbers on the 1 3DS screen and having headaches about that. So maybe that's actually the reason why they were omitted, just because he already worked himself into a corner when he said that characters would be identical on both versions, Wii U and 3DS. So he was like, crap, well, I'll have to just scrap Ice Climbers for both versions now, considering I can't get it working good enough on 3DS.
Well, how the assist trophies run 30 FPS, would your Ice Climber Buddy, would he be running 30 FPS? Would that be the problem?
Oh, good point. Yeah.
Like, does Luma run 30 FPS, or what's the deal with that?
I don't really know technical stuff like that.
Well, I think if it like first off, it would be easier to get such a small thing to run faster, and also you'd be less likely to notice 30 FPS.
They could have done something batshit crazy and just do like a Dragon Ball Z fusion of both characters and have like one hammer on each hand. Have like, you know, like Two-Face, Harvey Dent Two-Face with like one half. And you hear like a double track voice every time.
What about the new 3DS? Do you think that could work for Ice Climbers?
If they had new 3DS exclusive DLC or something.
Oh, that would that's a bit
Nah.
mean, I reckon.
That would I'd be kind of annoyed. Even if I got one, I'd still be kind of annoyed at that.
I think 3DS owners are just annoyed, period. So I think that would make them even more annoyed if they had to do that.
Yeah.
Also, it kind of hurts the scene a little bit, because if you go to a tournament or something and people are all playing, or even just a meetup, and you can't play together with the people who don't have the new 3DS.
Exactly, and the crap that you get as well with if you've played like console online shooters where, you know, you don't have the specific map pack, so sometimes you might be booted out of a game or you don't get priority servers. Like, it'd be the same crappy dichotomy there too, where you know you don't get the full experience because you don't have all the characters or all of the levels or whatever it might be. Actually, I do remember the other character I was going to mention when you mentioned DLC, and that's the Splatoon character.
That would be cool.
Too soon for it though, but yeah. It would look cool. But
Well, look at it this way. I mean, the Fire Emblem characters would have been too soon for the American and European versions of Smash because they hadn't been released yet at all.
I thought they hadn't even been released in Japan at that point.
No,
Like,
they had been. They've had
Okay.
they've had games all the way from the NES days. That's why they had their inclusion.
Sorry, I
But
thought
they
it was
were a
Roy.
great marketing tool. Sorry.
But I thought Roy's game hadn't been released yet. Marth's had, but Roy was used like as an ad, essentially.
Yeah, you might be right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, beg your pardon. Well, yeah, I think like that would be a fantastic marketing tool if they use the Splatoon character.
Yeah.
I think their marketing one is definitely Shulk
Yeah.
with Xenoblade on the new 3DS and
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah.
DLC is definitely not off the table though.
I don't know if Sakurai likes DLC though. I mean, he's always been someone against adding for the sake of adding.
Yeah, I always thought the same thing. I thought, you know, Sakurai's just going to finish the game and he's going to be like, yep, that's it. And he'll walk away from it. I mean...
Yeah, he'll walk away from the studio again, and then Iwata's like, come back! And then Sakurai's like, what is it now?
Goes through it, like,
Yeah.
who can blame him? But as people have pointed out, Smash Bros. 3DS was initially reported to be, what was it, like 2.1 gigabytes or something last month? And I'm not sure whether that's confirmed or not, but that's on that was on like a box art for it on the back. And then it's come out, and on the eShop it was just it was half of that for a download. Maybe a bit over half. So there's still 900 whatever megabytes that's missing or whatever. So
It wouldn't be because Nintendo are just being Nintendo, and for some reason, whenever you download a demo for a Nintendo game, it doesn't actually include the whole thing. Whereas with other games on, say, the PlayStation Store and Steam Store, if you download the demo, all you need is a few kilobytes to unlock the rest of it.
No,
Yeah.
this is downloading the full version of the game on eShop. Not
the demo was like 200 megabytes.
yeah.
So
Well, but is the 2.1 gigabytes though just rumored, and then it turns out to be half of that, or is it confirmed that it says 2.1, and then ends up only installing half of that?
I haven't looked into it. I don't know whether it's confirmed.
Because
But
that's a bombshell if that's actually the case. If it's only
it was reported to be 2.1, and ended up being less. So I don't know whether content actually got cut from the game or whether Nintendo are holding it back and maybe. Actually, one thing we should mention quickly. Today we didn't get a pick of the day. I don't know whether that means we're not getting any more updates or whether Sakurai just took a day off or he's asleep or I don't know what he's doing, but there's no pick of the day.
just hand rehab probably.
I was expecting Wii U updates. leading up to the Wii U release. I'm still actually expecting that. And then the only way they can really hype up the Wii U release is if there's more content for the Wii U version. We're expecting different modes to the 3DS version and all that. So it's possible that new content, which is going to be in the Wii U version, will be later patched into the 3DS version on the Wii U's release date.
Unless it's something to do with the NFC, if I'm saying that right, the content there. So like the way that they can interact with each other.
That's true, yes, it could be that.
It might be, there might be, maybe that stuff ends up being a gigabyte to implement. I'm not sure.
I think that's pretty likely, actually, just thinking about it. But yeah, a lot of people are getting their hopes up thinking, there's some characters being held back and, maybe they'll be patched in or maybe they won't unlock until you connect the two versions. Or
I reckon these are the same guys who, they've played all the way through Melee and they're like, no, there's a secret unlockable somewhere. I can feel it. I've got a Game Genie, guys. I can prove it.
All the rumors about how you could unlock Ridley because he was in the opening sequence.
Or Toad. Toad was the big one.
Yeah. Going back to what we were talking about, though. One thing I'm disappointed about is no Isaac.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It seems like we went from having 3 representations of Golden Sun and Brawl to having zilch in the 3DS version.
He could still be an assist trophy in the Wii U version. I mean, Sakurai did say there would be different assist trophies and different items, maybe too, different Pokemon. I don't know.
That's bizarre because Golden Sun's a handheld franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was just about to say that actually, Richard.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of these decisions aren't. A lot of these decisions are pretty much how buddy developers are with each other internally. I it would not surprise me at all, as comical as this sounds, for a while to have like a dummy spit with like the creator of Golden Sun saying "screw you." They just had like a fight over who ate whose lunch, and then one of those goes up to Sakurai and goes, "You're cutting out that goddamn Isaac character right now. Change him to Dark Pit. Good."
good.
And as to not be someone who's not generating too many rumors, like not having anything from the franchise at all could be a decent way. Like if you were to do DLC to have an entirely new franchise in it, that's how I'd do it. I'd not have anything in there and then put this DLC in that puts in this new character and assist trophies from that series or something like that.
But then that looks suspicious. That looks like if you're saying if there's nothing for Golden Sun, there's no Isaac assist trophy, that means that he has more potential as a playable character. Are you saying like all these ones that have been confirmed as trophies, like we've seen Mewtwo as just a trophy, Ice Climbers with an updated model, no less, as a trophy. I'm trying to think of the other ones now, but like
Pichu.
Do they not have a chance?
That's a decent point.
Yeah,
no, I mean it's maybe just me being hopeful. And I think that post Mario Kart, I think it's more and more likely that we're going to get some kind of DLC because people reacted to that really, really well.
Because I think if there was no Mewtwo trophy, everybody would be getting their hopes up that Mewtwo is definitely DLC. Whereas, they put him as a trophy, he could still be DLC, but like at least it doesn't look suspicious by not having anything in there. So I don't think it's intentional that there's no Golden Sun stuff in there. There's just going to be Golden Sun stuff in the Wii U version, hopefully.
So you're thinking on the back of Mario Kart, Henry, that that's a good testament for how DLC could work for other Nintendo franchises like Smash.
Yeah.
So Dave, what's this final roster you showed me the other day then? Saying I think this is how it'll turn out, and you had
that's making
there. You had
JP. I was getting hopeful. I've gone through the stages. I can't even remember the stages, but I'm at acceptance. Okay, so
acceptance comes before sadness, I hear.
Oh, does it? Okay.
God.
But yeah, I think that if any characters are being possibly held back
in prison,
they would be ones that were already considered. They're not going to be your Ridley, your K. Rool. Who even wants Ridley still? They're not going to be Ridley, K. Rool, or
Waluigi.
or Waluigi could work. But I think most likely it'll be ones that just didn't Sakurai didn't get time for.
Like Mercedes-Benz. Mercedes-Benz.
So I'm thinking
imagine that.
Lucas, maybe Ice Climbers. They're your most likely. I know they're just veterans, so I really don't think we'd have to pay for the DLC. But yeah, I don't think we'd get any newcomers.
Okay.
I just can't see DLC happening just because of Sakurai's philosophy. I just don't think. I think he likes to drop it while it's hot and walk away. And when people say, "Hey, can you patch?" He's like, "Nah, patching. What is that? Nah."
Well, I think they're going to be able to patch it. I don't think that's something he's even mentioned.
Oh, he's actually not against patching.
There's already a day one patch that adds conquest mode or something like that.
And that was actually...
I guess, yeah, I mean, that stuff almost sounds like it was meant to be included in the very first version, but that maybe there was something holding it back, so they've had to do a day one quote-unquote patch for it.
Also, speaking of things to patch, did anybody see the thing about the Peach players being banned in football?
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Because apparently because the game mistook the turnip for an item.
Game.
No, I thought it's because they were mistaking the turnip for an item. And it was causing something to be a problem because the Full Glory mode isn't supposed to have any items.
Oh, yeah. The down B move.
Even with playing with items, if you pull out the turnip straight away, I think it can still happen because you're not able to get items that early in the game.
Okay.
The items, don't drop till later, so it thinks you're doing something.
Yeah, but it's not happening with Link or Toon Link, which is bizarre, with the bomb.
Yeah, that's odd. Only with the turnip, so...
Well, it's because on the off chance you can actually pull out an item. Yeah.
Oh, that's actually a decent point. Because you can get bombs
I think
and
the
such.
turnip might have been intended as like an item for other people to just pick up by random.
So you can't use Peach in Full Glory.
Not for the moment. They're aware of the issue and they're going to fix it.
You get a one-day ban.
No princess
one day ban. But that does show that they've tried to put stuff in to stop people hacking the game or anything like that. There is something in place there for that.
Why can't Sakurai be more sinister? Why can't you start messing up with your save file? You start bringing in shit into Full Glory. That'd be awesome. Like converting every single character to Pichu.
I was going to say, first thing you just open up and you get a golden hammer. Just randomly, just Peaches down B, brings up some random items.
Just brings down the moon from Majora. When is it being released? No clue.
Couple weeks now. It's October 4th.
Yeah.
October 4th for 3DS. And the Wii U version is still...
that's one thing we can mention. It's been rumoured that the Wii U release date is 21st of November.
Which is really bizarre because it's the same day as Pokemon.
Is it really? Okay.
Yeah. And I don't know why you would...
I'm calling December. I'm calling early December.
Yeah, I was thinking December.
I hope it's not the first week because I've actually got a wedding in Tari. So I'll be away for the first weekend.
Or you'll just give up the wedding.
It's my
I know where my
wedding.
priorities lie, JP.
It's my brother's wedding. Yeah, so I don't know how long they hold a pre-order. Hopefully they'll hold it for a whole weekend for me.
Are there any pre-order bonuses, though? You're not going to have any trouble finding copies. They're going to stock themselves over on it.
You get Ice Climbers.
Yeah. Yeah.
There won't be any problems. They're not going to sell out of copies.
Yeah.
I don't think.
They actually sold out of Mario Kart.
They did. Damn.
Exactly.
For the first week or two, you couldn't actually find Mario Kart. Unless you had to go to...
Okay. Don't listen to me then.
Smash Bros. Is huge. I mean, and Comic-Con this weekend proved that everyone was itching to play.
You used GameCube controllers at the thing, didn't you, JP?
Yeah, you can use anything almost now.
but they had that available.
Yeah, they had GameCube controllers available for the Wii U.
Because it seems like that's really important in my eyes. Like, not necessarily the style of controller as much as I prefer it,
Yeah.
but I think it's really, really important to have wired controllers for
Yeah.
those kinds of things.
It's funny, actually. The host kept on saying that Nintendo had a poll about what your favorite controller was. Apparently, the GameCube won. So they are letting you use your GameCube controllers for Smash. They kept on repeating that like every 2 to 3 hours.
No, he's not right though, because you have to get an adapter, don't you? Or you have to buy the actual official controllers all
Yeah.
over again. So not really. You don't get to use your GameCube controllers. You just
No,
buy
no,
replicas.
Get to buy a new one. Yeah.
no, but it's still an adapter that'll work with all of them.
Is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
They'll still work with all of them. They had the old ones.
Mm.
They
Yeah,
did
that's
just
right. Yeah,
actually
because
go
that's
with
right.
them.
I'm pretty sure I used old ones down at at Comic Con.
But a rep at the event actually told me that they will bring them out on the market again.
Yeah.
Because they're very hard to find these days unless you go on eBay.
I'm happy to hear that. And I also, I wonder if the thing's going to let me play Wii games that use the GameCube controller with that.
That's really interesting. Yeah, because it is to me the game controller is the best controller made.
Yeah,
period.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, you know that Super Nintendo controller that they had as a classic controller for the Wii that you can't find anymore?
Yeah, the Hori one.
Yeah.
It's made by the same guys who do like fight sticks and stuff now.
Yep.
And it's it'll cost you like $150 if you want to get it, and it's
Yep.
still difficult to find anyway.
Yeah, because I actually saw it for about $40 when it was brand new. I said, "Who the hell wants that?" And then Tatsunoko vs. Capcom released, and I'm like, "Ooh, I really could go for one of those controllers." And yeah, it like tripled the price since I last saw it. And I'm like, "Well, shit."
I got the Tatsunoko vs. Capcom fight stick for $25, and mine broke, and they cost like $200 now.
Oh, no.
So
You can get them fixed if you know who to go to.
yeah, I need to get someone to do that because I fear I'll break it more.
It's interesting that we're seeing the launch 3DSs are breaking from
Yeah,
people playing Smash.
I've got to wonder what they're doing to it. 'Cause I don't
Yeah.
feel like I want to know how good they are because I feel like they must be mashing and moving around and stuff. Because I don't. Like, I'm going to eat my words. I'm going to break it tomorrow or something by saying this. But I haven't done anything that would justify moving it enough to break it.
It's just the launch launch 3DSs, isn't it? It's not the XLs.
Yeah, I think there's been like a couple of pictures of the XLs, but that means nothing because there have been a couple of pictures of them breaking through Animal Crossing, so it's not indicative.
Fine.
How you speaking about the controllers before? I think Smash is going to be the game that supports the most controllers. I think all up. I think we got a rumor recently that the Wii version would actually I think that might have been confirmed that the Wii U version will allow you to use your 3DS as a controller.
Yeah, that's really good to hear.
Yeah, I've heard that too, actually.
And yeah, with all the other Wii and Wii U controllers, everything. Yeah, there's a lot of controllers. I can't even.
Yeah.
And there are going to be some people who learn on the 3DS for the first time who are going to find the 3DS to be the best controller. I always like seeing controller diversity. Like, I don't know if you guys, again, going back to my fighting game stuff, as I always like to. The person who won EVO this year, like the big fighting game tournament for Street Fighter, he plays on a PS1 controller without the control sticks.
What?
Yeah, he's really good. He's this amazing French Rose player. And yeah, it's just really comical to see this. Everyone getting their big fancy arcade sticks, and he's got this PS1 controller.
Any last thoughts, guys, before we wrap it up?
Just a quick question, guys. What do you think of the pace of the game? So, what do you think of the speed?
Oh, how you mentioned before, Henry, that was one thing I wanted to talk about actually. How you said it was more like a refined brawl. I completely agree with that. I think from the beginning, people were saying, this game looks like it's halfway between Melee and Brawl. I think it's a bit closer to Brawl. It's nowhere near as fast as Melee, but some of the characters, they do drop quicker. Like, they're not as floaty. Although some of them I've noticed they still do have their Brawl floatiness. which is
But
a
you
bit
can-
disappointing. But yeah,
What I find in particular is that you can choose to drop a lot faster. If you press down, it goes a lot faster than it used
Yeah.
to. So
Yeah.
like one of the things I'm often doing is like using like a neutral air A and then making myself go down really quickly as a attack to like a dropping attack.
yeah.
Like, especially with Villager, I find it works really well.
I've got a fun fact for everyone. Please continue on with this lovely conversation and topic. Just, I've got a fun fact about how long it took Sakurai to make Smash Brothers.
Oh yeah,
Melee. Sorry.
melee. Okay, yeah.
I want everyone to guess, and I'll pick a winner, whoever gets closest. How long did it take Sakurai to develop Melee when it came to full-time development?
Are we talking
This is
in
concept.
hours?
So concept to finish. So concept to gold. We're done. I'll go with you, JP. How long do you reckon it took?
I'm saying 3 years.
All right. What about you, Dave?
I'm gonna say 5.
Years? I'm gonna guess really low. I'm gonna say a year, just so that I'm closer. If it's anything lower than what JP said.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're correct, Henry. You win nothing but love from me. So well done. It took him 13 months.
That's nothing.
That's absolutely nothing, and he had no weekends. He worked 70 to 80-hour weeks. No wonder he left Nintendo. He was just totally burnt out, and then some. He had no life, like nothing, not even like toilet breaks. It was just him making Smash. And
Well, it paid off because it's still pretty much the favorite version of Smash Bros.
Exactly. No, it's complete. It feels like a sequel and a half, to the original. It's. I actually thought, like, did they get like 400 people working on this game? Did they get like delayed development? And there was a delay, or like a month or something. But it's like as soon as Smash Brothers sold well, they told Sakurai, get the hell back in the studio, make something.
Yeah.
All right. So.
Yeah.
Those labours of love tend to work well. The same thing happened with Majora's Mask.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter how awesome you are creatively. I mean, I guess some people are just total freaks like James Cameron who can get off work, at 4 a.m., get 4 hours of sleep, and then go back the next day fully refreshed. But man, I don't know how you can be at the peak of your problem-solving powers by having, continuous crunch for over a year. That's insane. Let alone come out with something as awesome as Melee. Like, Melee is my favorite game of all time.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, it's goddamn amazing.
It's held up remarkably well. I hope they re-release it. I hope they do some kind of proper, not just a virtual console release, but a really well-done release for it. For the Wii U.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm one of those purists who likes games to remain the way they are, unless there was something very specific about the hardware that inhibited a certain feature or the vision of the director, for example.
I don't want them to change things in the actual game. I like even glitches and stuff like that. They need to keep them exactly as they are for the competitive scene. But I'd like them to release it so that a new generation can easily experience it. And maybe
like a virtual console of sorts would be fantastic.
But they could refurbish things like the visual, not necessarily the visuals, but they could refurbish online or something like that. Yeah, just have something there.
Yeah. I mean, if it's easy to implement without infringing upon anything else, then yeah, sure, chuck on online, why not? But yeah, Melee would be a fantastic spectator sport to relive all over again. When you got the Twitch phenomenon going, there's a real wave that Nintendo could ride on if they were savvy enough. Yeah. They're not. They won't be. But
I don't know. They're doing if you look at how they did this demo, they seem to know how to do social media. I think. Yeah. I think they've picked up something in the past couple of years, which shows that they know how to deal with social media. That's advertising in general, not necessarily, but things like Twitter, and I think they're starting to understand Twitch.
That's a good point you bring up. I feel like, if anything, I mean, this just goes to show how hard it is for me to please me. I thought there was too much. I thought there was too much coverage for Smash Brothers. In past, you'd be like, why can't Nintendo just release information about X? Whereas this time, they just sort of let their load off really, really easily and just said, you want Smash? Have all the Smash you want! I'm picturing that episode, Treehouse Horror, with
I
And
know.
getting all the donuts, like, have all the donuts you want! And just like donuts just keep coming on and just like, so I found that it was a unique approach and definitely a new approach for Nintendo with Smash where, I mean, I guess, Smash Bros. Is a unique franchise. It has a following that just will not waver, and everyone and their dog knows about it, even though, ironically, it's one of the most hardcore franchises out there in the way it references its own history, the way it embellishes it, the way it serves its fans.
Is there anything else we want to say about Smash?
I think we've used up everything. I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, Dave. You got a
Oh,
lot.
okay,
of work
no. We'll ask this one last question. Okay, if based on your impression so far, if you had to main only one character for the rest of the game, let's say you were locked out of every other character, who would you pick?
Pac-Man.
I'm gonna hedge my bets
Really
on Toon Link still.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say, just because I just don't want to risk choosing someone else, I'm gonna stay with Toon Link.
Oh, God, that is so hard. I'm going to have to go with Sonic.
Okay, I'll go with Bowser.
So I'm the only one who's picking a newcomer. Come on, guys.
No, we're a pretty conservative bunch down here, Dave.
Yeah.
Actually, mind you, Bowser's going out on a limb. I mean, he might end up being totally shithouse. There might be like a day 2 patch that just nerfs it back to melee days.
Oh my God. Let's hope that doesn't happen.
Oh, God forbid, Brawl.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, Bowser in Brawl was horrible.
Yeah, he was a bit of a lump.
All right, guys. I think we'll leave it at that.
Okay, thanks for having me on this. I've been looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
thanks for having me, guys.
I think this may be our longest episode to date.
yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No problem. All right. Till next time. See you guys.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Bye.